Elemental's biggest problem is Pixar itself. Yes, you heard me correctly. One of the most critically acclaimed animation studios of all time is no longer a blessing to be associated with. But before you grab your torches and pitchforks, let me explain. This is a studio that gave us some of the best animated films of all time, both in terms of quality and story. However, the sad fact is that the majority of the artists who worked on those old Golden Age Pixar films are no longer in the business. And that's not to say that the people who create the new movies aren't extremely talented, because they most definitely are. But the bar is set so high that it's almost impossible to live up to. I think I speak for everyone when I say I'd love to watch Finding Nemo or The Incredibles again for the first time. A part of me hopes that with every Pixar release, I'll be able to relive that magic. Unfortunately, my girlfriend couldn't name the past few Pixar movies because they are all starting to mesh together. They look like AI-created Pixar movies. The iconic Pixar look is becoming more of a curse than a blessing at this point, leading to a stumbling box office performance recently as they struggle to find something that truly connects with audiences. Expectations for Pixar's greatness are still high, but the studio seems to be falling short. Now, the Pixar weight holding down Elemental isn't the only thing stopping it from succeeding. Let me go over some other elements from the film, no pun intended, that I think missed the mark. First, I didn't leave the movie wanting more, a fundamental rule of any great film. Towards the end, I was getting a little bored. Perhaps the movie could have been trimmed by 15 minutes. Regardless, I don't feel the need to rewatch this one. I believe I got everything out of it during the first viewing. Thus, unfortunately, it isn't rewatchable. The dad character is depicted as somewhat racist towards water people. He becomes overly angry with them over minor issues during the movie. Consequently, when Wade shows up at the shop handover ceremony towards the end, I expected a major confrontation, but he was surprisingly subdued. Furthermore, the dad consistently pushes the shop onto Ember throughout the film. It felt like a bit of a cop-out when he later tells Ember she is the dream, given that it was clear he wanted her to take over.
I don't want to run the shop. I know that was your dream.
You were the dream.
He never encouraged her to pursue her desires until she brought them up herself. Even the doorman at the water building seems useless, as any character who isn't fire can walk straight through him. He can't even stop Ember's mum, who is made out of fire. There's also a fake-out death scene at the end of the movie, a trope I find rather tiresome. Speaking of death, Ember almost dies multiple times in the movie, but she doesn't seem to care most of the time.
I'm so sorry. I should never.
Are you kidding? That was amazing!
Her lack of fear towards death is confusing. The main plot of the movie is a Romeo and Juliet ripoff, a story we've seen countless times. The decision to go down this uninspired path is baffling. Every expected plot beat happens, the unexpected falling in love, the fear of being together due to differing backgrounds, and eventually providing that love conquers all. The lack of uniqueness extends beyond the plot. The Elemental City is reminiscent of Zootopia, where various animals coexist in a quirky city built to support their unique characteristics. Some characters' names lack creativity, like Bernie, Cinder, and Ember for the main fire characters. It feels like they went with the first fiery names that came to mind. And what happened to Claude, the plant tree kid? He's only in a couple of scenes, hits on Ember, and then disappears as the movie forgets about him. However, I'm not all negative. There were some aspects I enjoyed about this movie. Let's end on a positive note, and I'll even reveal whether I recommend this movie or not. The answer may surprise you. The film has genuinely touching moments, like Ember nearly crying, and the scene where Wade and Ember touch for the first time. These moments ooze the classic Pixar charm. The film is quite straightforward about incorporating Korean culture by using the fire elements as a stand-in for a Korean family. This is a nice way to introduce kids to different traditions. In conclusion, Elemental's biggest problem lies within Pixar itself. The studio's past successes have set an impossibly high standard, making it challenging to live up to the expectations. The overuse of the iconic Pixar look has led to a lack of distinctiveness in recent movies, causing box office struggles. While there are some positive moments and attempts at cultural inclusion, these don't fully redeem the film. As for whether I recommend it, I think if you're a huge Pixar fan, you'll probably enjoy it, but it definitely isn't going to go down as one of their greats. With all that said and done, I want to thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment what you thought of Elemental. Most importantly, don't forget to stay critical, and that's the end of the show.